This week on C Plus News Time, you too can join a comedy festival. Jessica Williams is hanging up her correspondent hat, and yet another Oscars analysis. Who says I don't follow trends? Watch me whip and/or Nene into this C Plus News Time.
It's C Plus News Time, delivering to you the news you didn't know about, the news you didn't care about, and the news you didn't know you cared about. With host Chad White. Now, here's that host, Chad White.
Whenever I get into an argument with somebody, I just like to shout, J. Cole went platinum with no features! Welcome back to C Plus News Time. I'm your host, Chad White, and this is the comedy news you didn't know about for the week of June 27, 2016. First up, want to be part of a comedy festival, but you never could because you weren't funny enough or just too timid to go and talk in front of crowds? Well, now you can. Yes, even you dullard, can join a comedy festival. How? That's easy. The 2016 SoCal Comedy Fest is set to take in as many applicants as possible. Best of all, you don't even have to attend. Earlier this week, the festival's creator, Zach Broussard, announced this brand new comedy festival that is taking place from September 1st to the 3rd. All you have to do is submit. You'll 100% be accepted to a festival that is never ever going to happen. There's a website where you can go throw your name into the ring. There, all of the specifics are laid out. You get the performer's package, an acceptance letter, and bragging rights that you were in the festival. There are 3 options to choose from: regular performer, feature performer, and headliner, with prices ranging from $5, $10, and $20 respectively. Late submissions always cost more and will jump prices up by thousands of percents into $100 range. Broussard told SplitSider why he did this: to promote his fellow struggling comedians, of course. You still have time to put your name in, but don't wait too long. The prices jump up on the 29th of July. Next up, The Daily Show's Jessica Williams will soon become just Jessica Williams. The show's youngest correspondent is leaving the nightly news show, but staying in the cable channel's family. This past May, Williams struck a development deal with Viacom, and now the comedian will have her own show on the network. She, along with writer Naomi Ekperigin, will develop a narrative pilot of which Williams will executive produce. This isn't the first time this happened to The Daily Show. Correspondents leave to work on their own Comedy Central shows regularly. Just look at Stephen Colbert and then Larry Wilmore. In an interview with Entertainment Weekly, Williams said that in her time away from The Daily Show, she's going to grow a beard, like Jon Stewart, and begin work on her second season of her podcast, Two Dope Queens, with co-host Phoebe Robinson. And finally, in the least funny story of the episode, the Academy is trying to bolster its numbers by adding 683 new members, 41% of them being people of color and nearly half women. If you recall, they faced major criticism this year for not having a lot of minority representation at the Oscars. People overreacted with their PC attitudes and started one of those internet campaigns, #OscarsSoWhite. They all said, "We're not tuning into your racist broadcast," but it didn't matter because ratings were just all right. The real issue stemmed from the Academy members themselves, not the broadcast. As of what they're calling the class of 2016, the new set of Oscar members includes people like Luis Guzman and Regina King. Now, with a new sense of direction, membership diversity is somewhat booming. Well, based on their numbers, it is. Percentage-wise, female diversity in the old class was 25%. Now, with 46% of the 683 new members being women, which is roughly 314, make up an astounding 27%. Not that big of a change, right? People of color don't fare much better. The old class contained a measly 8%. The addition of 41% of the new class, which is 280, brings the total up to 11%. The way the Academy proudly touts the information is atrocious too. There's only so much they can do, but they did put themselves into this situation. 683 people, the largest class added, I might add, is way too much. At this point, they're just admitting that they fucked up, and which they did. In fact, they knew about the problem way back in July of 2015 when the Hollywood Reporter created a nifty chart about the Motion Picture Academy's diversity issue. On June 26, 2015, Academy President Cheryl Boone Isaacs and CEO Don Hudson were in the throes of making their exclusive club more inclusive. The group invited what used to be a record 322 new individuals to join the academy, pushing their total member number up to near 7,000. Women made up 25% and minorities even smaller. The problem is that people of color, women, and everyone else in the minority section aren't represented well, if at all, on screen. A study called the Hollywood Diversity Report from UCLA's Ralph J. Bunche Center for African American Studies, released in February 2015, said that moviegoers are more apt to go to movie theaters should the casting of the movie be diverse. The study sampled 2012 and 2013 movie trends from 200 movies of the time, along with every broadcast, cable, and digital show of the same season, a number that totaled 1,105. According to Nielsen ratings and box office numbers, they found that viewers preferred casts that had all shades of colors about them. The real blame finger should be pointed at agencies that don't represent, guilds that don't support, and studios that don't produce for, and networks not backing shows by minorities. They found that people of color were outnumbered 2-to-1 in lead and directors' roles, while women suffered worse in 2-to-1 as leads and 8-to-1 as directors. In the TV universe, 41 to 50% diversity casted scripted shows had the highest ratings in white and black households who watch broadcast TV. On the cable spectrum, diverse casts with 31 to 40% splits were seen in white and Latino homes. Black homes really do matter though, because 50% diversely casted shows were preferred. The study cited other areas in entertainment like executive positions and all that, but it's still a slow process. All of this really is a slow process. Adding names like Loretta Devine and Nia Long won't do much now. They should have been added decades ago. Newbies like Brie Larson and Michael B. Jordan are ahead of their time, but obvious reaches for relevancy. Look, Academy, I don't want to say something that won't allow me to join you in the future, but this is so goddamn frustrating. You can't expect to invite 683 new members, with 314 of them being women, and have everything be hunky-dory. No, this takes time. Your bulk invitations mean nothing in the long run. Yes, the discussion is changed in the short term, but what happens after next year's show? What happens if Paramount or Universal slip back into their old grooves? Do people like me get more representation? Will women continue to play second fiddle? With additions like Ryan Coogler, Katie Aselton, and James Wan, the Oscars are trying to prove that they're not so white. However, there needs to be consistency, not only on their part, but with the guilds, the networks, and everyone else who holds a high position in Hollywood. The people have spoken, and they want varied casts. From this point on, those high-ranking Hollywood bigwigs will be in the limelight just like the stars they represent. Nameless and faceless, yes, but still ever so prominent. Your move. And that's all the news I have for you for this week on C Plus News Time. Why don't you subscribe and check out one of our other videos? Of course, you can always head to the website cpluscomedy.com, where we've got the latest news, reviews, features, interviews, and other good comedy bits that only I can provide you with. You can always follow us on Twitter at C Plus Comedy, follow me on Twitter at ChadBlackWhite, like us on Facebook, tumble with us on Tumblr, and be sure to watch all the award shows to see if your thing wins. And Snapchat, I don't fucking care.